In case you've missed our last 2 episodes, we have been working on a Lagoon 400 S2. It had a major bulkhead issue in the anchor locker. You can see it here as Davy's taking it apart, cutting out all the rotten plywood that was left in there. There was water that came down the mast, it pooled underneath the shelf, and it caused rot. The water had no place to go. Davy's been cutting out all of the rot. He's then been fiberglassing it back together on this side. In this week's episode, we're going to show you the double-sided repair from the inside of the boat.
Alrighty, so there we go, stage 2 complete. In here is now nice and solid. We've gone through about, I'm guessing, 4 gallons of resin to get the anchor locker on this side, the whole project done, and a hell of a lot of 1708 glass. But she's looking good, so tomorrow I will jump in here, give it a clean, give it a sand, and then I'm going to pass it over to Erica so you get the cute one back in the camera again. She's going to do some epoxy primer on it and then put some bilge paint in here to make it all look pretty while I start working on the other side. I didn't have a ring of fire.
Ring of fire.
There was no ring of fire.
You're on camera.
That doesn't matter. I'm talking about Stephen's curry from last night.
Alright, so this is stage
Deciding
3.
where to cut.
So do you want to explain why it has to be a double-sided repair?
Okay, so sorry guys, I'm just cracking on with this because I want to get it done so we can all go south. But yeah, I probably should be explaining a little bit more. 1 second, let me just draw this line. So basically on any major repair, you always want to do a double-sided repair. And it doesn't matter how hard it is to get to, that doesn't mean you can just give up and say it will be fine on one side, because that's not how it works. Especially on a major bulkhead like this one here. This definitely needs to be tabbed. So we've done the worst of the work from the outside. So all of the wood that was rotten, damp, etc., has now been taken out and replaced with Cusa board, Divinacell, different types of material that won't rot again if it ever gets wet. So it's going to be better than factory. But the most important thing is as well, with a repair, you can't just, it feels solid on one side. But the thing is, once you've got the boat in motion and it's moving back and forth, you really do need to make sure that it's a double-sided repair to actually tab everything fully back together. So unfortunately, we're going to have to rip apart here the saloon area. So I'm just working out where I can actually cut. I've actually got quite a lot of room on this side. This should be the easy side. This side over here, unfortunately, Lagoon, they decided to put all the electronics over here. So there's going to be a bit more motion on this side to actually move things out of the way. But we're going to start with the easier side and then work our way across.
You want to be able to get your sander in there at least,
I want to get me in there, I want to get a sander in there. So where's the shoulder? That's what I'm trying. I want to cut the least amount possible, but I also want to be able to have access. And to be honest, pretty much everything's under the level of this. So it's just a case of my shoulder, which is probably about there. Everything else is pretty low, and it tapers down lower following the hull.
So that could be the pain in the ass part.
Well, I can actually reach that as well from the other bedroom. I can reach in that direction. This is the pain in the ass part. It's like every damn wire in the world.
Let's see if I can get the camera in there.
Let's see if we can get it in there when I've got the flashlight.
Look at all that needs to be moved.
So while Erica's pointing the camera here, I'm not sure what you can see because this is a flashlight and a GoPro stuck in a hole.
I see a crack there.
A crack? What sort of crack? Yeah, that's part of the old bulkhead, whereas you see the black
is the new.
That is the new. So what we have to do is some sanding, a little bit of thickened epoxy, and then double tabbing all the way across with 1708.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is going to be the fun part.
So yeah, that's, if you can, it's hard to tell on the
Very
camera,
hard
but
to tell.
That's why it does need to be double-sided. Alrighty. Okay, so up in here, Davy has finished with all the glassing and tabbing and all the different materials. So while he moves on to the inside, I am going to finish off this section with some paint First off, epoxy primer, and then second, some bilge paint, just to make it look all nice and beautiful again. So, let's do it. I'm all suited up. Time to tape it. Alright, and just like that, the primer is on.
It's a messy line.
Fucking hey, that was quick. Was Carl on standby?
Yeah, pretty much.
Any wires behind there?
No, I've already checked. Oh, you mean all those cables for the complete controls for the boat? Sorry, Stephen. You don't need a radar.
There goes the eye.
It's not my first rodeo, guys. Come on.
I didn't ask.
Might be his last though.
Might be.
Give this a shot. Really?
Alrighty, so we're getting to the last point of the job. Well, I say the last, we've kind of got to put a few things back together afterwards, but anyway, the last part of the fiberglassing job is to do the repair on the back side here. Actually, I think Eric has just shown you down here, but I need a little bit of thickened epoxy and I need to double tab it on the back side. So this was, I don't know if you noticed, but this part here was a very strong part of Bulkhead. You can see it here. This is literally about 3/4 inch thick of epoxy, or probably polyester actually when they built the boat. So we've used that ledge, which I've glued into from the back side. So I need to smooth the edges off and I need to then tab up and over everything here. So that's the way to go forward. But one thing we need to do is get the owner of the boat off the vessel because he's getting all stressy. It's all a bit messy. So I think Eric is going to take him out for lunch, and Carl and I... How are you doing, Carl?
Oh, I'm wonderful. I've taken 100 screws out and still nothing's coming apart.
So Carl and I are going to keep cracking. This side here I can... You know we're on camera. This side here I can actually get to glass to, and I'm going to work towards Carl because it sounds like it might take a little bit longer than planned to get to that side. But anyway, we love you, Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get there. There's got to be a screw behind that piece. I don't know how to get to it.
Do you find it?
Oh no, I found 3 of them. 2 of them anyway.
So when you live on a boat, there's something called boat yoga. So I like to call this position the modified frog. Trying to get into different places on the boat. So this is gonna be the fun side. Trying to get in behind all that cabling.
It can be pulled aside.
We'll make it work, that's for sure.
Alright, so finally we have glassed this boat up. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the back here. I know Erica has been picking up... Oh, I feel how much of epoxy have I got in my hair. Might have to shave that off. Anyway, we've managed to get through the whole back, so I don't know how easy that is to see there. But that's all like double, triple layered up with 1708, and also behind all the cabling. So that's been one hell of a job. Thank you so much to our best buddy boat in the world ever, Carl.
What's up?
Yeah, he doesn't normally express feelings.
No, hey, it's good. Better than sitting around doing nothing all day.
Let's go find Erica. She's up in the anchor locker and she's doing the final bit of paint up there. How you doing, babe?
Fine. These rollers suck.
Just fine. How's it going?
Good.
You want to speak to everybody?
Not really.
Tell YouTube that you do some work. Look, see? She doesn't just wear a bikini.
Haven't worn a bikini for a while. It's cold.
So it's starting to look really, really good, guys. Paint's going on there. As I said, I've just realised how much epoxy I've got in my hair. So I think we're going to have to cut it off there and stay tuned.
In your hole yet again.
Back in the hole. Last time today though, we're just going to put all this stuff back together. It looks great. Nice and solid. But I do have to drill a couple of holes through the bulkhead. 2 here, 4 over there. And then reassemble all these pipes, get them in the right places and get the water tanks back in.
And you were going to do the hole down there.
Yeah.
So what was that for?
Drainage.
So that's what Lagoon came and did.
But Lagoon, their fix that they had somebody specialist come and do was to drill a hole here to allow any water that was connecting up in here to come out. But the thing is, it was so high up, it left about 2 inches of standing water in there, which had been sucked up in all the wood. So their fix isn't very good. But as you saw when I was building this up, there's a sloped part I've now put in here. It goes 7 inches down to the shelf. So I am going to put a hole there. So if any water does get from the mast through what I've built here, which I have no idea how that would happen, it will have an exit hole down to there. And we'll also leave the original one open.
So once you do these holes today, you're going to put 5-minute epoxy around it just to seal up anything?
Yeah.
Alright, get cracking.
It all cracked again right now.
Do you want to cut this off? You got a pair of scissors. Snizzers. We don't have to, we can just wrap it up.
Yeah, I'll cut it
Just wrap it up for now. Just put
Look
it in.
at that. It's all back together.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Alright guys, so one word of advice. Don't make friends when travelling because you end up doing things like this. Anyway, Stephen, are you happy?
Very, very happy.
Alright,
It's
I'm
amazing
happy too,
job.
dude.
Thank
Let's
you,
go
brother.
south.
Let's
go
do it.
south.
Time to go sailing.
Alright.
Woo.
'Cause I am a barefoot man, barefoot to make my stand. I bare my soul for all the world to see. Yeah. I am a barefoot man, he planted firmly in the sand. Bare your souls, come along with me. Lose your shoes, lose your blues, come along with me.